Well, I thought that our guys competed last week. We prepared during the week to win the game. There was a lot of good things. We got to continue to work and understand that, with where we are, it can come down to one possession. It can come down to one play. So we've got to make sure that we're exact all the time. That includes practice to make sure that we win that possession and that we get off the field, we give the offense the ball back, and we still work hard to hold people to low numbers. And that's going to be the focus, not only this week, but every week.
What do you need to get better at technically, do you think?
Yeah, a lot of people will make up, they'll talk about the rushing yards and things like that. The fact is one, we got to continue to work on that. But right now, teams are running the ball roughly 46 times a game on us. And I think it's like 4.5. Last year it was 4.1. So right now, during the course of the game, it's 46 runs and 28 passes. So we've got to find a way to flip that, and what we've got to do is, number one, when you talk about the run defenses, is we've got to finish on the ball carrier. A 2nd and 8 cannot become a 2nd and 6 or 5 because they push the pile or the guy leans forward. When you look at some of the formations you see relative to quarterback runs, the width of the formation cannot create seams for the blockers. It's not always guys knocking guys off the ball. It's the seam relative to the alignment of people. So you got to understand that they're not in empty to throw the ball. They're in it to run the ball, and where your fits are on that. We need to create a few more tackle for losses, and get people behind the sticks. First downs I always thought was the most important down because it dictates 2nd and 3rd down. So we've got to work hard on that. And then we got to get off the field because, if you get off the field on 3rd down, then you don't have that many plays or as many plays. So our players understand that, and they're working hard. I think sometimes you got to look at the matchups that you have and relative to the matchups, the style in which you play. And the bottom line is you got to work hard to hold people to low numbers. So that's where we are. I've been pleased with our work ethic. I think our leaders have shown up. We got to continue to have them shown up and confront and demand that people do things right, because with where we are, we need to make sure that we win the possession. Each possession we got to win.
Is that the biggest thing for a coach that you hate to see, is the 2nd? Because you had a couple of them last week where it looked like it was going to be 2nd 9, 2nd 8, 3rd and 8, 3rd 9, and then they get, like you said, 3 or 4 extra yards. Is that
first down sets up 2nd and 3rd, because generally speaking, if it becomes 2nd and 7 or more, people are always going to try to be in manageable 3rd downs, because people don't like 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. So, first down will dictate what people do on 2nd down as well as 3rd down. So, our players understand that. We understand that. So we've addressed the issues kind of that we've talked about here, and I fully expect us to continue to improve each week and get where we need to be.
You mentioned leadership. That was one of the things I was going to ask you about. In addition to guys like Keith Kelsey, are you seeing some of the younger guys starting to step up?
Well, I think when you look at our leaders, first of all, Kelsey's obviously been a solid leader for us, every day. Sheldon Rankins has always come into work. I thought Burgess had his best game to date last week, made a great interception. You can tell it's important to those guys. When you start looking at the younger guys, I think that they understand the value of each play matters. And the reason that maybe a coach is on you, every play in practice is because that play could determine, whether we win that possession or not. So I think that's a learning experience for young guys, and I think they get it as you move forward. So I think our work ethic's been good. I think our guys trust and believe in each other. And, that's what you got to do. It gets down to you have to play harder than your opponent for 60 minutes. And if you do that and you execute, then you'll be in the game and have a chance to win it.
Keith really played at a high level the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, Kelsey, he's a grinder. He's one of our core guys. He understands what to do, how to do it. The reason he is where he is as a player is because of his work ethic, his character, his leadership. He certainly allows us to do the things that we do on the field. Certainly glad he's here. And, he is a guy that takes charge and makes sure that, guys are accountable for what they have to do. And I think anytime your players do that, it's better than a coach.
3 games into his career here, what's your thoughts on the progression of the field so far?
He's doing a good job. he's had to play multiple positions a little bit, and you guys probably wouldn't have recognized it in a couple of the games just because we try to get matchups, meaning him and Keith Brown on the field at the same time, and then sometimes even trying to get him, Trayvon, and Keith on the field at the same time. So when you do that, somebody has to learn a new spot. We've kind of managed it a little bit with him to learn that. He's a smart, instinctive guy. He wants to do things right. He's done everything I asked. You can see where he has a skill set that can be a productive player. I think anytime you're away from this level of comp for maybe that length of time, it takes a little bit of time to get back in the groove. And I would expect him to be an ascending player moving forward and make some production type plays that will allow us to be the kind of defense we want to be.
Seemed like you got some good production out of Hearns last week. He was in there for
Hearns is a guy that, I'll be honest, I've been pretty hard on since I got here. And we were going to have a determination on, where he was going to be. And to his credit, that guy's busted his tail in January through spring practice in the summer, and he earned the right to play. And that's what it's all about, is earning the right to play, doing things the way we want them done. And he's certainly done that, and I think that moving forward, you'll continue to see his reps where they were, if not increase.
How close is this defense to its potential?
Well, as a coach, you're always looking to improve. I think that, we still are looking at the combination of players in the back end to give us the best matchups. We kind of go back and forth with where to play Josh. Josh has actually played two positions for us and really done a great job. I think that it kind of gets down to the, like I was talking about the rushing stats. This year, it's like 190, 200 a game, but at the end of the day, it's 4.5, so we got to find a way to reduce that. Last year it was 4.1. So the first thing we got to do is reduce the amount of rushes against us. And if you do that, and we can do that by, one, giving our offense the ball back with the lead to let them go drive again and score. And then once the fourth quarter is always dictated by the score. And when you're losing or in a tight ball game, people can do what they want to do. When you're up and maybe by more than one possession, the score can dictate how the fourth quarter plays. So I think that is something that we want to strive for moving forward, because that would allow us to be probably a little bit more like we were last year.
In your career, what experience have you had with multiple game losing streaks, and have you had a situation where sometimes that first win is a confidence booster and is a spark, or maybe it's a win that sparks a team on forward?
Well, I can think of, I was at Virginia Tech, and I think we were 1-2 and got beat by Cincinnati, and had Miami coming in, beat them, and went to the Sugar Bowl, first New Year's Day Bowl in Virginia Tech history. My second year at Georgia, we were 0-2. And went to the SEC championship game, played LSU. Each game is a game. It's, you got to play, and that's what I tell our players is we need to prepare each week like we did last week, because each game, like this game, matters. And if you prepare each week the same, your production and your success is going to be the same. So, every game is the same to me. I know that from a media standpoint or fan standpoint, certain games are going to be more exciting than others because of who you play. But at the end of the day, they're all the same, and it's about you getting better as an individual. In pro football, when you play 16 games, they're all the same, and it's a dogfight every week. And it's really no different in college football now with the way the scholarships are and things like that. That every game matters, and every game is the same. Now, it's going to be a little bit different from a media fan standpoint, but that's not why we play, that's not what we do. So we've got to hone in on our skill set and know that our preparation during the week is going to allow us to do the things we want to do on Saturday.
Is this team, this Sanford this weekend, is it similar to what you saw with Murray last year?
Yeah, they're very similar. At all levels, you can have wideouts. There's all kind of wideouts. You got a big quarterback that can throw the ball. Those guys can be found at any level. Just look in pro football and look at the guys that play that from all different aspects of college sports. So we're going to see some skilled guys out there. So we've got to understand that and be ready to play. And what we've got to do is worry about ourselves and what we do, and everything else will take care of itself.
Defending the screen, what have you seen so far from your team, and what would you like to see?
Well, when you're defending the screen, number one is your linemen got to have discipline and understand their keys and understand what's happening to them. It's always like I tell them, nothing in life's free. So just because the guy lets you go doesn't mean he likes you. He's probably letting you go for a reason. So you got to retrace your steps and head outside. So you know, what you have to do is you first of all you've got to force it with somebody, whether it's the guy that has the guy in man or the corner or the safety, but whoever has the force, you've got to set the edge of the screen, and then your interior guys have got to come inside out, because you know, with the way screens are in college, linemen can be downfield and blocking, so the seams are created behind them, so the linemen have to retrace and compress that to take those seams out, and it's something you got to be disciplined at. You got to work on it, and I think that anytime you face a team that may feel like that they're going to have a hard time blocking you, those plays are good to try to slow it down a little bit. So we've got to be ready for that.
But we just coming in every day and practicing, just going hard as a team, and we just know that we got Sanford in front of us, and those 3 games are behind us.
The mindset for you guys going in, I mean, when we talked to you guys during the preseason, you guys are a pretty confident bunch. After 3 losses, how would you describe, you know, the defensive mindset at this point?
Well, we're still confident. I mean, those close games, but those games are behind us, and we know what we got as a team on offense and defense that we know we can go out there and do. So we just got to focus up each week, you know, not.
You guys feeling a little ticked off, or?
We always ticked off when we go out on the field and play our opponents.
How close is this defense to its potential?
We're real close. It's still things we need to fix and work on, but we're coming together as a unit and as a team, and we're ready to go play.
What's the biggest thing you need to fix?
Well, we just got to communicate. I mean, just as a defense, you got to be on the same page, and we just got to go out there and do what Coach asks us to do.
Coach Petrino said Monday that you guys, I guess he wasn't as pleased that you guys have how you played with the lead. What do you think he means by that? Or, I mean, why do you feel like sometimes you guys have given a score up the times that you have gotten the lead?
I mean, Coach Petrino is a very competitive coach, and I understand him. He's very fired about football, so we just got to go out there each play, each possession, no matter what's going on, just play like it was our last play.
You guys are giving up about 200 yards rushing a game. Is there anything, do you feel like it's maybe that's a little bit overstated because of just how many plays you guys have had to face and series and things, and how much you've been on the field?
Well, 200 yards is too much as a defense. We don't like to give up 200 yards, even though they've been out there rushing the ball about 46 times a game, but we still want to limit that.
What's a good yards per carry? Right now it's what, 4.6? What do you want that to be?
Well, I mean, anywhere lower than that. If we can get lower than that, then we'll be all right.
Is that Coach Grantham was talking about the plays where it looks like it's going to be 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9, and it ends up being 2nd and 6? Has that been an emphasis in the meetings and in the films of watching that and eliminating those couple yards?
Yeah, we got to stop them. I mean, we got to knock the guys back. We can't let them get them extra yards, and then it's easy for them to convert on 3rd down. So we just got to get off the field.
As a leader, what do you try to tell the young guys? And when you lose, it does get tough in the locker room. What's been the message from the veterans this week?
Well, it doesn't matter about individual stats, because I mean, we're 0-3 at the end of the day. Nobody cares about individual stats. We got to go out there and play as a team.